So the next step in the solve then is I turn the puzzles upside down. So I turn this upside down and I turn this upside down, and now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting these pieces here. I don't focus on the top yet, and it was easier with this because they're all going to be one color. This won't be. So I'm now going to get these pieces in, which is correlated with these pieces over here. And this is where things make it a little tricky. So I'm going to see what belongs. These both belong down here. And I'm going to correlate it with the edge here as well. So move it out. Now nothing I do here is going to affect what I did here at all. And this will come over to here. Now to move this in, bring it out, turn and bring it down. So these are good. This red is in. This is in the wrong orbit. Now as I follow it along, it correlates with this piece over here. I mean, it's next to it. So I'm simply going to take this, do my jumble, and then move it back. In essence, what that does is, well, it flipped this piece, but it also put this in the right orbit. So I'm going to move this in here. This is where it needs to be. Move this out, bring this in, and move this back. So now this is in. Yellow, well, they're both in the right orbit. They're both here. Orange, well, this is not in the right orbit. It's next to where it should be, so I'm simply going to move this like so, up, down, turn, and turn. Nope. And then move it back like thus. Okay. Now let's get things back where we had it. This should be in the right orbit, and it is. Now this isn't really a full tutorial with this. This is just moving kind of quickly, but you can see I move these guys in. Now notice this is upside down, but we don't worry about that on this puzzle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in. It's going to take a little bit more than what I just did, but let's see where things go. First off, this is already in, so that's good. How about the red and yellow? Is it in the correct orbit? And we see that it's not. So the red and yellow is here. So what I need to do is I need to jumble it so that it matches the orbit over here. So what center can I use that with? Well, I'm jumbled here, so I'm thinking this center is where it needs to go. So I'm going to move this. I got to get this to over here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, then bring this in. Then I'm going to bring this up to here. Do my little jumble thingy. Then 1, 2, and then bring this back also. Okay, just to make sure I didn't mess anything up, which I really shouldn't, and then take a look and see where things are at. Bang, it's right here. So it's in the right orbit. Let's just put it in, get it out of the way, turn, put it in, and back. Okay, so this is in. We come over to here, and I'm going to look for the green and pink. Is it in the right orbit? We got lucky, it is. So I just have to plop it in. Boom. So this is fine. How about here? Orange and green. Did we get lucky again? No. So a little more challenging. Green and orange right over here. So we find a center which appears to be here to jumble it in. This moves here, this moves here. Kersplat. This moves down, this moves back up, and you can see now it's in. So simple stuff. Okay, so after placing these guys, now we're going to have to do orange and silver. And we see that it's not in line, so we've got this over here. Now what we need to do is find a way to get it into the proper center. So I guess what we can do is we can make use of this center over here. So this is in jumbled position, which is good. Move this in, which is also in jumbled position, and go splat. This comes down, this comes across. Now you might have to do a little bit of hunting to get it in, so just keep sticking with it and you'll get it. So now this got moved out, but that's okay. As long as it's in the right plane, then we'll be able to get it back. So as a matter of fact, I can go like turn, 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 turn. So good, good. Silver and blue, that's good. Now I need blue and purple. Are we in the right plane? And it appears no. So this needs to be jumbled into here. Is there a center that we can use? Sure. I'm going to move this over here. This over here, double turn, and now this goes back. Okay, so you can see this is now in the right plane. So I go splat, blue and red. Alright, so this is in. Now I've got to put the blue and red, and you can see it's not in the right orbit. So you have to find the center in which we can single jumble it in. Get this to here, and we're going to be using this center here. And I've got to move it. Well, I can move this up. Or it's this guy. So I'm going to move this up like so. Move it across like that. Then I'm going to take this, move them to here. Then I'm going to do my single jumble here, then move them down, then move this across here and then down. Now, like I say, I might have taken some things out, but at least they'll be in the right orbit. So we've got this in here, this is in, now this is in. Okay, I want the red and the yellow. Is it in the right orbit? It's right over here, so it's not in the right orbit. Okay, let's try using this. Jumble this into here. I'm going to double turn to get this on the opposite side, like so. Okay. Now I'm going to move this back. I'm going to move this guy in. Double turn. Very quickly do my maneuver, if it will let me. 1, 2, and then very quickly move this back to here so that I'm square. Now I gotta move these guys back, so this will come here, this will come over here, this will move here, rather this will move all the way here, and this will come down. Now, I know that it should work, but I might have taken some things out, which again, doesn't worry me too much as long as I've got the right orbits. So this is over here okay. So, but this is now in and this is in. So I think everything is in the right orbit on the bottom, we just have to kind of get them in. So this is in, green and pink is here, so I'm just going to move that in. Green and orange is here, so I'm going to take that out. Actually, we'll do this. Turn, 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 turn. So this is in, and I'm going to kind of work my way backwards. This is in here. This needs to come down to here. So turn, turn. So I'm just sort of winding my way backwards here. Turn. So this is in, this is in, this is in, and this is in. Okay, so at the end of the day, with all of that jumbling and positioning, and this is going to be the most challenging and fun part of it, is getting all that in. So we've got these guys in, which is equivalent to this. Now, after having done all that, these have very little choice but to be in. So all you've got to do is focus on these bottom ones here. These will automatically be in just the same way with this. So if you thought that the single color here gave an advantage to this, it actually didn't. It did a little bit, but once you get this in, all these stars are fine. So the next step, after getting this in, is we have to make sure that we've completely reduced the other edges. So at this point, what I would do is finish the reduction of our centers here. So looking at things, we can go ahead and put these other cross centers in. So this guy is going to come up to here, like so. This to here. This is going to participate in the algorithm. We don't want this to, and we can't just move this down because we don't want this to participate. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move something else in here that's already messed up, and that's going to be this. So it's going to be a little bit of a journey that we're going to make, but we're going to turn this like so, and then bring it up to here. Now to participate in this algorithm, it's going to move from this angle, so we're going to go like this. So it's not going to be hard to turn it back, we just have to remember to turn this down, then move this here, and then turn this down. It'll be fairly intuitive. But I'm ready to go to R, swing to the left, to L, swing it back to the right, to R, swing it back to the left, 2L, swing it back here. So this is in, and now we just put these back. But before I do that, now let's do that. So now this comes back here, and I move this back in. So nothing else was touched, everything was fine. Okay, what about this piece over here? That's the other yellow, and that's all the way down here. So what I'm going to have to do is move it into a position where it'll find its way to here. What center will work best with that? Actually, I got to move this back, which in many ways makes it easier. I'm going to take this, move it over here, so now this is in line to come over to here. Again, it's a little bit of a journey that I took. I'm just going to move this here. So now this can come to here. How do we like this? We don't. So same kind of thing. Double turn this, bring this in here, and double turn this. I know that it seemed like we did a lot of baby face turns, so to speak, but it's not as hard as you might think to bring it back. So very quickly do the algorithm. Well, not really algorithm, just do the swinging U technique. Turn, turn, and now you can see all this is in. We have but to get ourselves back. So this was the first one that moved. 1, 2, bring this down. Now the rest should be fairly intuitive in terms of what we've got to do. This was used, so let's go ahead and put this back. We had to turn this back. And now this comes back over here. Okay. So this is all in. This is almost all in, so let's focus on this one next. I just have to move this one into place. So it's going to move in from this side and just move this over here. So this will come into place, but let's take a look what's going to be participating. It's this. We don't want it to. This isn't in yet, so we're going to go ahead and move this in to this center over here. So move this up because these aren't used yet, and move this in. And because we want this to transfer up here so it can participate in the algorithm, we'll go 1, 2. So now we just move it in, turn, turn, turn. So very quickly doing the algorithm before I get confused. So now this is in, and now we just put this where it needs to be, double turn this back, and move this back in as well. Okay, getting ourselves squared again. So this is in, this is all in, this is all in. Now we have yet to move these in to put this one in. Well, this one is positioned to do that, so I can move this into, well, here actually. This will come into here. But when I move it to the left, this is going to participate. So is there a center that I can put into here that's not in yet? And that's this part. So I'm going to move this like so, bring it in. Okay, so now this guy is going to move in like here, so I'm going to just move this into position here. Okay, a little bit of a long journey, but it works. 2R, move to the left, 2L, back to the right, 2R, turn, turn, and turn. Okay, let's very quickly get this back in. And now move this into position over here, and let's get this back into position as well. Okay, now I believe we put this out of position as well. Okay, so now I'm looking for the final green, which is over here. This gets moved into this configuration, so it can come into here. We're going to be moving this center. We don't like to do that. This is already solved, so what else can we use? Well, this is good. Okay, so here is where we're at. We actually have ourselves, no, we don't have the last two centers, never mind. We're going to be using this center over here because this one's all messed up. So I'm going to take this and just move it to here. So I'm not too far from any one center away, and then move this into this position. And now we just do the algorithm. Have a grand old time. Okay, so this has been completely placed. And now let's bring this back where we want it. Boom. Okay, so this is completely placed. Anything else that has to be placed back? No. So what we find now, actually, yeah, we got to put this, is we have the last two centers. The way that we're going to do that is I'm going to do this cuboid style. So I'm going to put this one in because I only have one more to go. And the way that this is going to work is, as you recall with the cuboid, I had a way of flipping these two, if I did like a 3x3x2. So if I were to move this into place and take this white one and put this over here, set it like this, and I do a 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R, it will flip this. But it's going to create misplacement along the side, the way that you do with any opposite corner swap. So I'm actually going to put a dummy one in first to create the parity, then put the real one in to take the to take it out again. So I'm going to move this over here. So I'm going to take what I want to be placed in. I'm going to put it right to the right, just to the front over here. I'm going to do 2R U, 2R UI, 2R. Okay. Now I did that because this is still in the same configuration, but what was here just came down here, but you can see that it created some placement issues here. So that was just a dummy one. Now I'm going to put the white one in and put it right over here. Now, to those who recognize that this is just cuboid strategy, 2R U, 2R UI, 2R. Okay, this is now placed back. This is placed completely, and now my misplacement was taken away. Now something else to notice, I have this in, I have one more center left. Notice that these guys are kind of messed up, but that's okay. This I'm going to do completely cuboid style by doing corner placement. So this is where the hybridization of this puzzle really comes in. So I find two corners that are adjacent to each other that's supposed to be there. These two have to flip-flop. And I'm going to do the very typical corner swap using this side over here. 2R U, 2R UI, 2R UI D, 2R UI, 2R U, 2R, and as predicted, this did not get out of sorts. And that's what's good about this, is I can apply familiar cuboid strategies and predictably not cause any issues here. So you can see these corners are placed. Now all we have to do is place these edges. And that's done with edge swaps. Now every time I do an edge swap, it creates displacement. So I have to make sure that I do an even number one. So these two I'm going to, let's see, this will go here, so it's going to be 2R. This is an opposite edge swap. 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay, you can see the misplacement that was created here, but I'm going to swap these two and everything will be fine. 2R, U, 2R, U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. This is just a adjacent edge swap, and everything was swapped fine, and this was all good. Now occasionally you may see a situation that looks a little like this. Okay, you have a situation like this where everything is fine but only two need to be swapped. Maybe they're adjacent, maybe they're opposite, but you know if you swap them, you're going to have a problem with misplacement. Well, if that happens, we're going to go based on the equivalency of these pieces. So when that happens, I just need to swap two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first swap these two. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. We got these swapped, but now you see the misplacement amongst these guys. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to take this, move it to the opposite side, take this, bring it up, and I'll swap these two. It's not going to affect any of the corners, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to move this into position here and swap these two edges. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. So you see that was swapped, the misplacement was taken out, and I have just to take this back and move it in. And we'll move this back. Okay, so now we've got all of the edges in, and now we are left just with the corners. So the corners here, now for further evaluation of this, this is just to show the double jumble maneuver. Basically what we want to do is, if we want to move this, well, this is where it's supposed to be. If we wanted to move, say, this to here, what this will do is this will flip this and also swap these two. So up, down, turn, put it back, then over here, up, down, another jumble maneuver on the opposite side, turn it, bring it back, and then double turn. That flips this, it also brings this in this area too, and we just kind of keep following suit with that. So this doesn't belong here, but this one does. So up, down, double turn, then same thing over here. By doing this, it familiarizes us with the technique, so this is placed. And now finally, this is not exactly where it's supposed to, well, it's where it's supposed to be, it's just flipped around. So first thing I'm going to do is flip these this way just to flip this back up. Up, down, turn. So it's a very simple double jumble maneuver to do this. Turn and turn. Upon doing that, that put that back in. Now I just got to flip these two. And we go up, down. So this is our single jumble portion. The second one is our double jumble portion. Turn, bang, and solved. So here it's actually even easier, because now all I have to do is find what goes to where. So let's find the green, orange, and silver. Green, orange, and silver. Green, orange, and silver is actually here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in or just across from where it is to do the double jumble maneuver. Now if I move it into here, you can see it's upside down, so I don't want to do it that way. So let's move it back. What if we tried it from the opposite side, the other side here? Well, if I did that here, you can see that it's also upside down. So rather than do it from here or here, let's try it from down here. So I'm just going to take this, give it a little journey to here and to here. I just have to remember to turn it back. And now this will be right side up. Now I didn't do that with the other one, but I did with this. So the double jumble maneuver is with this on top and this in front. This goes up, and then the bottom portion here goes down. Double turn. And this goes back up and down. Now this goes up, down, turn, up, down. And then we double turn that, so you can see that's it. Now we just get this back, and it should be pretty straightforward as to what we have to do that, and turn. Okay, so this is in. How about the purple, blue, and silver? That's going to be this guy here. Now, will we get lucky? Will it just come into place? And no. So because it won't, I'm going to move it down to here. And this should do the trick. Will it? Nope, actually it won't. So, if that's the case, then we'll move it to here and see if it goes into place, and it does. So we double jumble it into here. That will be up. So when I say double jumble, you move it across. We're going to do the upper right, up, down or left, lower left rather, down, then double turn, then bring this back up and bring this back down. Then I go to the upper left, go up, downer right, lower right rather, downer, go down, double turn, and then up and down, then we double turn this like so. We don't even have to worry about, actually move this back, about what happens here. So now we just have these two to go. You can see they're not in the right place, not in the right configuration, so let's move them out. Up, down, double turn, this goes up and down, then upper right, lower left, down, up, down, and turn. The good thing about this is it doesn't affect anything else. Now I find what position is going to properly place one of them, which will automatically place the other one. So I'm just going to move this across from here and see if it does the trick, and no. So whenever I turn this into here, then I know that that's where it's going to end up going. So let's move it down to here. Now will this be properly placed? Well, if I turn this here, you can see it'll go in, and that's what's going to happen as I double jumble it. So upper left, lower, so upper right, lower left, double turn, then up, down, upper left, lower right, double turn, up, down, then we double turn this here. And that should have done it. Now we just move this in over here, and done. So your Dayan Gem 7 is now solved. So really what this is it takes an already very entertaining puzzle, which is the curvy copter, modifies it and gives you a little bit of a skewing of your perspective and a little bit of a hybridization or a cross cube version of it, and you get the Dayan Gem 7. A very fun solve. Highly recommend this puzzle. A little stiff over here, but it's pretty stable. It's never popped on me. But there you have it, the solution or the method and the strategy of this very entertaining hybrid type puzzle. Thanks for watching.